Welcome everyone to our free webinar on ATLAS.ti for Cloud. We are very happy to be presenting this brand new version of ATLAS.ti. This is the first web-based version of the software. And so this is something that our developers have been working on for a long time now, trying to bring ATLAS.ti online. So more and more today, everyone's working online. The internet is important for any area of work nowadays. And well, a lot of people have been expressing this desire to be able to work online or to have their projects automatically synced so you can easily move from one computer to another. And well, we've listened. And so our developers have worked really hard and they've developed a brand new version of ATLAS.ti that's fully based on the web. So they started from scratch and created it so that everything works completely online. And now this summer we've launched ATLAS.ti Cloud. Currently, we're in the beta version. And so while we're in the beta version of ATLAS.ti Cloud, you can all use it absolutely for free. So let's go ahead and create our account here. Let's go ahead and log in on ATLAS.ti Cloud. So all you have to do is go to our website, ATLAS.ti.com. And then right here from the home page, you'll see ATLAS.ti Cloud. So we'll just scroll down and we can click here. And then we're on the home page of ATLAS.ti for Cloud. And you can also see more information here. So if you have any questions about how ATLAS.ti Cloud works, or if you just want to get an idea of the different features that it has, you can find all that information on the web page here. But of course, we're here today to actually take a look at it for ourselves, right? And so to create your account, you'll just click here to sign up. So no longer do you have to download and install the software. Just create an account right here, and then you can log in from any computer or anywhere as long as you have an internet connection, and you can access your projects and continue working on them. So I'm going to go ahead and log into my account here. And so we already see here a warm welcome to me, and we can already see that we have a demo interview project. So we've included this to give an example project to showcase ATLAS.ti Cloud, but we can create a brand new project here. And so from this first page, we'll always get an overview of any projects that we have in ATLAS.ti Cloud. So let's go ahead and take a look at our demo interview project. So right away, we can see the overview of all of the documents inside our project. So a document is just any source of information we're analyzing. And we have different interviews here. And well, if we want to add any more documents, you can just click right here and you can upload a Word document, a PDF document, or you can create your own document. So you can create a blank document and then type in your own text or copy paste it as well. So you can use any of these different options to add your data into the project. Let's go ahead and take a look at the first document we have here. So when you open it, you can read the document here, and in the margin area, you can see any of the analysis that's been done on it. Now, from ATLAS.ti Cloud, you can indeed edit any of the content of your documents. Just toggle the edit mode, and then if you want to make any changes or add any information, you can now type, and you can format this in any way that you would like. If you want to add bulleted lists as well. So you can change the contents of any of your text documents. You just need to toggle the edit mode. Now, if we want to analyze this information, well, let's go ahead and take a look. As you go through reading the text, and if you ever find anything interesting or that captures your attention, something that can help answer your research question, just highlight that segment of the text. And as soon as you highlight the text, on the side, you'll see you have the possibility to add any codes to this quotation. So a code is just a tag or a label that we'll associate to our quotations. This is how we can capture our analysis and also organize all of this information. And we can add any kind of code names that we would like. So we can create as many codes as we want and attach as many codes as we want to a single quotation. So for example, I could say here, so this quotation has to do with Mac and Windows computers, mobile apps, and cloud. So as you type the code name, ATLAS.ti will also show if you have any other codes already that fit what you've typed so far. So as you create these codes in your project, you can also easily just see them again by typing in here. And you can also write a comment on any of the quotations. So if we want to describe it, So maybe to say which page number this came from, or the author and year of the document that you're quoting here, any additional information that you'd like to have on this quotation. You could think of the comments as sort of a sticky notes that you can use for yourself as you're analyzing the data. And there we go, we have the quotation and we can see all these different codes associated to it. So we can go through and manually mark the segments of our data and add whatever quotations we would, or whatever codes we would like to our quotations, and write comments on them. But what if I want to search for some specific word in this document? And instead of reading through it all by myself, I just want to find where it is right now. Well, we can take advantage of the smart auto coding in ATLAS.ti for Cloud. So we'll just type in the word we want to search for up here. Let's go ahead and take a look at Windows. We hit enter. And now ATLAS.ti is showing us where this word occurs. We can easily filter through, moving up and down all the finds, and we can automatically quote these results. If you click on the arrow here, you can choose what size of quotation you want ATLAS.ti to create. So you can already see it changing here as you select it. And then we can already have these quotations coded for us. But that's not all. We see here we have our keyword Windows. If you click on the drop-down arrow here, you'll see more terms matching the search. In fact, let's take a look with a different example here. If we look at web, and now the smart search suggests other keywords that match the one that you've typed here. So we can search for web in this document. We can also search for network. You can continue clicking on the different words here to see more suggested synonyms. And so you can very easily take a look at all of the relevant data here in your document. And so we can search for all these different words. It'll show you how many times they're occurring. And then we can go ahead and quote all of these with just one single click. And ATLAS.ti Cloud already kickstarts our analysis, so we can very quickly and easily identify where these words are coming up in our document. So you can search for any word you'd like here, and also take advantage of the suggested synonyms to see what other data comes up. And so we see now we can analyze any document here just by creating our quotations, adding our codes. And so I've been working on this project here, and my colleague was also working with me. She was interested in seeing all of the different benefits of ATLAS.ti Cloud that we identified here. And so she asked me to send this information to her. Well, in that case, I'm going to go ahead and export a quick report of all of those quotations that are associated to our code here for benefits. So in the codes overview, we see all the codes. And from here, we can also edit them if we would like to change the name, color, write a comment on them. Now I want to see these quotations. So we'll click. We have the full list of quotations that have been associated to this code. And so that I can share it with my colleague, I'm going to go ahead and download the quotations. So just by clicking here, ATLAS.ti will download the file. And now I can go ahead and email that to her, and she can see all of this information right here. Another way in which you can maybe share some of your work. So my colleague, in fact, is also working on her own qualitative data analysis project. Well, in her own software. She's not using ATLAS.ti Cloud in this case, but she wants to use the same codes that I have here. So I can very easily share the codes with her now. You can download your codes by clicking here, and you can download it in CSV format or QDC format. The QDC format is a universal format for any qualitative data analysis software. So if you're working in a team and you even are using different softwares, you can still share your list of codes by using this format. And so just by clicking here then, ATLAS.ti Cloud automatically downloads the full list of codes, all of their colors and their definitions. So you can write out the operational definition of your codes in their comment space. And now I have the code book here nice and ready, and I can also send it to her so she can import the codes into her project and continue using these same codes with the definitions already written, and everything's ready to go. Now, let's say later on down the road, my colleague actually decided to go ahead and get ATLAS.ti for her desktop, so for her Windows computer. And in fact, she now wants to look at the same project and continue working on it. Well, you can export your entire ATLAS.ti Cloud project into the ATLAS.ti desktop version. So if you have ATLAS.ti on your Windows or Mac computer, you can certainly open your cloud project in there and then also continue working on it. To export your cloud project, just go to Project Settings, and we'll click right here. And then we can open ATLAS.ti on any of the major platforms and continue with our analysis from there. And so now that we're coming to the end of our working session today, I'm going to go ahead now and open my research diary and write down everything that we've done today. And so I'll go ahead and open the memo where we have our research diary. So we can open it here, and now I can add today's date. And so we can say, today I added the interviews and continued coding the data using auto coding. I exported the codebook. And well, now we can reflect on everything we did to write in our research diary and keep track of our progress. And then this will automatically save when we go back to our memo manager. And if we ever want to create any new memos, we can just click here. And so we can create new memos about any of our data analysis on any topic that we would like. And you can take advantage of the memos to write any descriptions, reflections. You can use memos in whatever way you would like. It's a very flexible tool, but it's certainly very helpful to have a place to note down all your ideas and keep track of your analysis. So as you're working through ATLAS.ti Cloud, if you ever do have any question or you're not sure how to do something or to get to a certain place, just click down here on this chat icon and you'll be able to get in direct contact with the ATLAS.ti team. You can just type right here, and then one of us will get in touch with you right away, and we're always happy to help. And so you'll always have our live support right through the chat here. If you'd like, you can also explore our Help Center. And we have a whole series of different articles covering different parts of ATLAS.ti for Cloud, so you can see more information on it. And finally, I'd also like to share with you all our feature roadmap. This is where we show all of the upcoming features that we're going to be implementing in ATLAS.ti Cloud. And we're really excited to get this to get ATLAS.ti Cloud going and to keep growing with it. And your feedback is invaluable for us. If you ever have any ideas or suggestions, please feel free to submit your idea right here. As well, you can take a look at the features that we already have in progress. And you can always open it and comment on it and rate it as well. So it's also great to get your feedback in that way. And we certainly encourage all of you to participate with us in the roadmap and wish list and let us know what kinds of things would you like to see or what you like about ATLAS.ti Cloud. And we're happy to continue growing with you. And so with that, we've seen ATLAS.ti Cloud. And well, I hope that now you're all ready to go ahead and log in, create your account, add your documents, and start analyzing. Remember, at any point, you can export your codes or quotations, and you can also export your entire project if you also want to use it on ATLAS.ti desktop. Now we can take any time for questions that anyone may have, and I'd be happy to answer them while we're all here together today. So for example, I see that Lisa has asked, how do I access from cloud an ATLAS.ti project that I've created on my desktop? So at the moment, Lisa, I'm afraid that it's not possible to import a desktop project into cloud. So we can certainly export our cloud project and open it on ATLAS.ti desktop, but we can't go the other way around. That's simply because the desktop version has a lot more features and it's a lot more complex, and so we're still working on getting it translated in the other direction. But you can see that this is also in our plans to include in a future update. But for now, you can just move from cloud to the desktop, not the other way around. So I hope that that answers your question then, Lisa. I see that someone's also asked if is it possible to work in teams now? So that's also a great question because that is also one of the big things that we wanted to get with ATLAS.ti Cloud, right? If you're going to be working online, you want to be able to collaborate with others at the same time. So very, very soon, you will be able to collaborate with others through different accounts, and so you'll have live collaboration in that sense. But in fact, you can already start working in a team on ATLAS.ti Cloud. And for this, what we suggest is that you create a new account for you and your group. So let's imagine that me and my three peers from class, we're going to be working on a project together. And so what we would do is we would go ahead and create a new account on ATLAS.ti Cloud. So we would sign up here, and you can give a different name and use a common email address. So the only thing is you'd have to share the login details with everyone, but a common email address and password. And then each person can log in on their own computer. There's no limit to how many people can be logged in at the same time. And so nothing else will be affected. You'll just have the same login details. But then you can all work and analyze the project. And so by doing it in this way, by having more than one person in the same project, well, ATLAS.ti updates all the work virtually instantly. So there's no save button here, as you may have noticed, because you don't have to click save. ATLAS.ti Cloud is saving everything for you. And so if we have more than one person working in the same project, then we can see anything that they've done, any changes that they've made in real time, because it'll continue updating. And so you can indeed have multiple people on the same project. And if you are going to be doing teamwork in this way, then I definitely also recommend creating a teamwork memo. And so to create a specific memo where you can discuss with your team, in particular to make it clear what the roles of each person is, maybe the schedule of what tasks need to be completed when, and so on. But you can think of this memo as a sort of bulletin board for you and your team to exchange ideas and information. And that's certainly handy to have as well. So that would be my recommendations for working in a team. Just put in your teamwork memo and make a common account and happy coding and analyzing. I see that we also have a question of how many maximum documents can be added to ATLAS.ti Cloud. Well, I'm happy to say that there is no limit to the number of documents that you can add. You can add as much data as you would like. You can create as many codes and as many memos as you would like. So there aren't any limitations, and so you certainly can analyze to your heart's content. Now, in addition to this, we're also working on well, we're working on many features to come, and one of them will also include the possibility to change the interface language. So very soon, you can also change it to Spanish or German if you prefer to work in that way. And that will be released very soon. Ah, yes, I see we have a user who asked that. So yes, we will soon have it available in Spanish. And this update will be released as well. And so just one day you'll enter ATLAS.ti Cloud and you'll see that new things have been added. And so really the great thing about this is that you don't have to manually install updates. You don't need to download a software. And it's definitely an exciting new change. And we're all eager to continue seeing how ATLAS.ti Cloud is going to grow and all of these new features and ideas that we can do now. And so, are there any other, uh, if there aren't any other questions, actually, I'd also be happy to hear from you, the actual users. And I'm curious to know, has anyone used ATLAS.ti Cloud yet? Has anyone tried it or, created their own account and started analyzing some data? You can just write in the chat box to let me know. Or if you would like to also open your microphone and speak with us, I'd be more than happy to take time to share with the time we have left. But yes, I'm curious to know, has anyone already used ATLAS.ti Cloud? So I can see that no one is answering yet. We have some shy people here today. Well, don't worry, I won't open your microphones without your permission. And so I see Lisa says, no, you haven't gotten a chance to use Cloud yet because you're already working on the desktop version. Okay, so yes, I understand if you're already involved with ATLAS.ti for desktop. Well, and Lisa, seeing ATLAS.ti Cloud now today, what do you think? What's your perception of it so far? Especially since you're familiar with ATLAS.ti desktop. Do you have maybe any suggestions or ideas? Well, no problem then. If we prefer to, maybe everyone's a little bit shy today or just doesn't have any ideas on mind right now. But just so you all know, right down here, you can always access our feature roadmap to see anything that's coming up and definitely to submit your own ideas as well. If you ever want to chat with one of us personally, so a member of the ATLAS.ti team, remember just click on the chat button down here and you can start typing and one of us will get in contact with you. And as well, we encourage you to share any ideas or suggestions you have as well. And we always take that into account and we pass it along to the developers so they can also include it in some future updates. I see, Lisa. Yeah, so you say you've been working on your project for 2 to 3 years, so you're using the desktop version. And so, yeah, okay, I understand. Oh, but I'm happy to hear you like the chat feature then. As you say, this will be amazing as it develops over the years. Well, yes, certainly, and I'm happy to hear you think so. Definitely, we're going to continue developing a lot in this sense. I mean, we still are in the beta version after all, but it's a great thing being on the web because it's a lot easier to integrate different tools and analysis possibilities. For example, we have an upcoming feature is going to be the sentiment and tone analyzer. So how we already can do auto coding and search for synonyms, and so this kind of smart search function that can already search for similar words for us. And very soon, we're also going to be able to automatically analyze any positive, negative, or neutral parts of the document. So the sentiment and tone analyzer looks for any words that indicate these different sentiments, if it's something positive or negative, and it can also already code and organize that for you. And so these kinds of tools, this is really exciting because it can really help, kind of kickstart the qualitative analysis. And thanks to being online, we can now take advantage of all these different tools and possibilities. And so we're definitely excited to see what kinds of things ATLAS.ti Cloud will be offering for us very, very soon. Well, then, if there aren't any more questions for today, I'd like to conclude by putting up our contact information here. If any of you ever have any questions or doubts about anything with ATLAS.ti, my name is Ivana, by the way, and you could always just send us an email by writing to clients@atlasti.com, and we'll be happy to help you out or answer your questions or just to talk with you about ATLAS.ti Cloud. I mean, of course, we have the chat function here, but just in case anybody would ever like to send an email or just has more general questions about ATLAS.ti, you can always count on our free perpetual support. So about cloud or Windows or Mac, we're all part of the big ATLAS.ti family now, and so we're happy to help you for any questions or comments or ideas you have about ATLAS.ti. So I hope that you all enjoyed the webinar presentation and you're ready now to create your account on ATLAS.ti Cloud and add some data and start analyzing here. And please feel free to share any feedback that you have with us. And so, and sorry, I just see now that Eduardo has also asks about network options. And yes, just like you say, Eduardo, this will be incorporated in the future. So at the moment, you can't create networks in ATLAS.ti Cloud, but you will soon be able to visualize your analysis results. So we'll add the possibility to create networks, and we're also working on some other interesting data visualization possibilities, so different kinds of tools we can use. And yes, it'll certainly be included in a future update. If any of you are particularly interested in one feature or another, please feel free to go into the roadmap and vote for them here. Because if the developers see that we have a lot of people interested in one function over another, then I'm sure they'll work on it to get that one out sooner. So if you want to see those networks as soon as possible, then feel free to even go in here and vote and comment on it. And so the developers will listen to you users as well. Oh, and thank you, Lisa and Eduardo, for the nice comments. I appreciate that. And I see that Jose also asks if any student can change a project from the demo to the cloud version. So if you're talking about the demo version for ATLAS.ti Desktop, then I'm afraid no, they won't be able to import it into cloud. However, if you have students who are using ATLAS.ti, you're teaching it in class, ATLAS.ti Cloud could be a perfect solution for them. Since it is free, all your students can enter and create their account and add their documents and analyze the data, and they could just work on the cloud. So, of course, ATLAS.ti Cloud doesn't have all of the features that ATLAS.ti Desktop has, but for students learning how to do qualitative analysis for the first time, I think that this is actually an ideal solution because the fact that it's simpler also makes it easier to understand. And I know that well, first time qualitative researchers can get easily frustrated and confused with all the new things. So I would even recommend using cloud for the class and for the project. So I hope that that answers your question, Jose. If not, please feel free to send us an email and I'm happy to talk about it in more detail with you. Okay, so with that, we'll go ahead and start closing the presentation. And thank you everyone for the great feedback and comments. Great, thank you, Jose, as well. And yeah, truly, please feel free to check out the cloud and let us know what you think about it. And for any other questions or comments, you can always count on our support. So, well, thank you everyone for your time today. And so I wish you all the best of luck in your qualitative data analysis journeys with ATLAS TI. So goodbye and have a great day.